Reporter Piper Shaw joins us now for a look at what this policy change means for students around the country, as well as at SCSU.
Thank you, Parker and Chastity. So Betsy DeVos announced her decision to rescind some of the policies from the Obama era regarding sexual assault on college campuses. DeVos's decision will essentially change the type of evidence needed in student sexual assault cases. Here's a look at how this decision is being received and how it could affect college campuses and specifically SCSU.
The system established by the prior administration has failed too many students.
Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos's decision to roll back policies regarding sexual assault on college campuses is being met with criticism,
Betsy DeVos has got to go!
as well as praise.
Every survivor of sexual misconduct must be taken seriously. Every student accused of sexual misconduct must know that guilt is not predetermined.
The controversial policies being changed were believed to treat the accused students unfairly, as the guidelines required universities to use the lowest standard of proof, preponderance of evidence, when dealing with student cases of sexual assault. DeVos aims to alter this to allow schools to use clear and convincing evidence in sexual assault cases.
She has allowed campuses, will be allowing campuses in here to use that clear and convincing, but at this point didn't say the campuses that are still using preponderance had to change that.
Though the policy applies to all universities, it does not necessarily overrule policies that individual schools and states have in place. Lee Ledoux of the SCSU Women's Center says she does not believe these changes will affect SCSU at this time.
At least for our campus, it won't change anything. We have some state law, there's still federal law that we have to follow that would be, obviously supersede policy.
However, many advocates and students worry that any policy changes here at St. Cloud State could prove harmful to sexual assault survivors.
It would absolutely be have a chilling effect on whether students felt comfortable reporting, and it would make our campuses less safe.
Regarding DeVos's announcement, Judith Semino, the special advisor to the president of SCSU, did make a statement on the university's behalf, saying, St. Cloud State has policies and practices in place in order to comply with the Minnesota State Colleges and Universities Board policy, and we don't anticipate any changes to them at this time.
So Piper, can you give us an idea of why DeVos decided to rescind the previous guidelines?
So essentially what DeVos is getting at is that she and other members of the Department of Education felt that the old policies didn't provide the accused with enough due process, saying that they felt it was unfair that the lowest level of proof is used to decide these cases. In my conversation with Lee Ledoux, though, she was explaining to me that some universities use the preponderance of evidence for only sexual assault cases, and then they use what is called clear and convincing evidence for other student crime cases. I think that the discrepancy is what has upset a lot of people in different universities.
What kind of evidence does St. Cloud State require in its cases?
SCSU consistently uses the preponderance of evidence in all of its criminal cases. So whether a student is accused of theft or vandalism or sexual assault, the level of evidence required for consequences like suspension or expulsion is consistent. Ledoux had also explained to me that this term preponderance of evidence is often perceived to be kind of this low level in terms of evidence, but it is the same level of evidence that civil courts use.
All right, thank you, Piper.